Two-Tone Miles here, and before I get the moniker Too Late Miles, I think it's time I review Mind Breath by Fire Sale. See, I promised these guys a long time ago that I'd do a review for them, and I'm way overdue on this one. Seems like I can't get a video without the kitty popping up. Hey kitty. Alright, see, I kind of ran out of steam a bit after my Scow Lantern competition, which ended up being a bigger chunk of my time than I ever thought. And things have been a bit crazier in my life, but still no excuses. Consider this preamble something of an apology for not being better at time management. So let's get down to brass tacks and talk about Fire Sale. Fire Sale are a reggae band out of Davenport, Iowa, which seems to be a pretty tight-knit local scene from what I gather. They put out a self-titled release back in 2009, but right now we're talking about their second release, Mind Breath, which was released in August of 2012. You can get Mind Breath on iTunes, and that's how I got it. Right out of the gate, it has to be said that the cover art here is really something spectacular. I think we can all lament that in a digital age, iconic album cover art is squashed to fit the small screen of an MP3 player or phone. So when people really make the effort to make unique cover art, I feel that bears mention. The vibrant colors are really evocative, and I'd really love to have a larger print hanging up in my home somewhere. Something you're probably going to hear me say a lot is just how great some of these bass lines are. See, in my spare time, I've been trying to teach myself how to play bass, and that's actually one of the things that's been distracting me from making videos and has really killed my output lately. Finding it really hard to put down the bass and go back to making videos, so just gotta figure out how to balance the two hobbies. Anyways, I mention this because I've been developing an ear to listen to great bass licks, and this CD has them in spades. Now, I don't want to single out a particular musician too much, because as a whole the ensemble is really top-notch. But the bass is used here to great efficacy, and I feel that bears mentioning. The first track on the CD, No Sense, has a great lead-in from the percussion, with the guitars, the bass joining in, and lastly the horns. This is a really chill track, just a great track one to start things off. In particular, that sweet bass hook just gets stuck in your head almost instantly. I don't always get the instruments 100% accurate, but I think I'm hearing sax. There's a great trade-off with some flowing notes going right into staccato and back into the flow. There's some great jam sound packed way almost at the end of the track. That's a nice little surprise. Just when you think you've got the track figured out, they throw something new into the mix. Forget About It is a track whose verse has a great take-home message. Forget about it, just give it a try and don't stress about it, because rage won't solve it. This track just oozes a funky, cool vibe. So if you're stressed about it, whatever it may be, do yourself a favor, forget about it, put this track on, and just feel that stress melt away as you nod your head to the beat. This is easily my favorite track. The sound on For Future's Sake is a bit nice and light. When compared with the two preceding tracks, it's a bit more mellow, particularly in the vocals, and there's some great drumming in the middle. She's a Wave has another great intro from the percussion, heavy bass line, really some rapid-fire vocals. To me, this track struck me as one of the more solo-heavy tracks, with some great horn and guitar solos. Contradictories, this one's probably the slowest track on the whole CD. I think it does a great job of showing the full range of the lead vocalist. Time for a Change is yet another track with one of those great bass lines that really gets its hooks in you. There's a sort of hard rock edge coming from the lead guitar, and some great and powerful lyrics. I particularly like the line, "Pieces of beautiful things spread by good people like the great Dr. King." Just real positive message. There's another great guitar solo on this track. Mistakes has a wandering bass line and some really interesting tempo changes and a unique chorus to it. Track number 8, Voodoo 11, features a guest musician, David Zolo. Maybe it's Zolo. Hope I'm not butchering the name too much. I'd have to assume he's the guy on keys. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. But there was some excellent work coming from the keys on this track. Now, I myself, I'm a bit ambivalent about Set in Stone. On the one hand, I think the lyrics themselves are pretty smart, with an eye for the political, which is something I generally like in my music. However, I don't think it really shines quite like some of the other tracks on the CD. Now, who knows, opinions change, and this may end up being a favorite track after future listens, but as it stands, it has some good aspects to it, but it doesn't quite pop like many of the other tracks. Old Ways is a track with the really funky down-low sound to it, with the horn section really turning in some fantastic work on this track. The last track, Mind Pollution, I think it really hits its stride when it goes for that up-tempo swing, complete with the mandate to pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. So here's a riddle for y'all. How many ska fans does it take to change a light bulb? 4. 1 to drop it, and 3 to pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Bit of a lame joke anyways. In closing, I can wholeheartedly recommend Mind Breath from Fire Sale to anyone who likes reggae music. These guys have got some great reggae sensibilities. Everything just fits really, really well together. There's a great consistency to the CD as a whole. Each track has its own unique identity, and yet when viewed as a whole album, everything just really comes together nicely. It also bears mention that 11 tracks and 52 minutes, that most of the tracks come in at a robust 4 minutes or longer, and stay tight and engaging all throughout. So you're getting a lot of music for your money, which is definitely a good thing. There's a complexity to the tracks themselves, where just when you think you know what to expect, they throw in a breakdown or some great solo work to keep you on your toes. It goes a long way to make each track individually interesting and keeps them from feeling overly long. My personal top 3 tracks are Time for a Change, No Sense, and Forget About It. And I won't hide the fact that Forget About It is easily my top favorite track for this CD. The quality to be found here is so good that even if you're not a reggae fan, I say give this one a listen. It's technically tight, it just sounds super good. So if you're not a reggae fan, maybe this is the CD to change your mind. So yeah, Mind Breath from Fire Sale is a great CD, definitely worthy of your time. Sweet, sweet reggae music coming straight out of Iowa. Spread the word on this one.